I'm registered dietitian Abby Sharp, and on my new podcast, Bite Back with Abby Sharp, I'll be dismantling the multi-billion-dollar diet industry that keeps us in a cycle of self-loathing and food fear. Join me every Tuesday for expert interviews, engaging conversations, and my signature science and sass to bust myths, correct misinformation, and help you break free from diet culture for good. Listen for free on the Seeker app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Monday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby.
If you listened to the radio today, you know it was an absolute shit show and we were barely on air.
And then the equipment wasn't working for us to record an intro for today's podcast. So here we are in the parking lot on my phone.
We were literally just about to go to our cars. So.
Yeah, so here's a best of some older stuff from the Brock and Dalby show. Enjoy.
Yeah, and we're two guys hanging out in a parking lot talking into a phone. This is...
Okay, that guy's staring at us. We gotta go.
All right, y'all take care. We got more podcasts coming later this week, so if today sucks, there's more coming that might not suck as much.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I think I've cracked the code on how you can get the Christmas present that you actually want this holiday season.
How so?
Okay, hear me out for a second. You know targeted ads, right?
Yeah, when you're on social media or on websites and the ads that come up are generally things that the internet thinks you're interested
right?
in.
And they go off based off stuff you talk about, stuff you Google all the time. Well, I realized something the other day. Courtney was on her laptop, and I've been talking about this Titleist driver for the past couple of weeks.
Okay.
She pointed out to me, she's like, I'm starting to get ads for this thing now. And I was like, well. So it turns out all you have to do if you want to get the present that you actually want this year, guys, kids, adults, doesn't matter what age you are, all you have to do is grab the person's phone who you know is going to be buying you presents this year.
Right.
And you just go up to it and you go, Titleist driver, Titleist golf clubs, Titleist driver, Titleist golf clubs.
Just start whispering search terms into the microphone of somebody's phone so that when they're on social media, the internet will give them the idea to buy you exactly the thing that you want.
Exactly. And if they don't buy it, that means they don't love you.
Okay, I don't know.
No. If they don't buy it for you, they've been seeing it. You've been telling them about it. They're getting all the ads. And if they didn't go through with it, that just means they don't care, guys.
I mean, a Titleist driver is not an inexpensive thing. I don't think it means that they don't love you. Maybe just, times are a little tight right now.
Don't ruin it. I've got something good going here. I'm just saying. Maybe you're looking for some new tools. Grab your girlfriend or your boyfriend's phone and go, Milwaukee drill. New Milwaukee drill. Only Milwaukee tool sets.
You gotta be careful, though, because, imagine if you're the other person. You're the significant other. You're outside doing whatever. You come into the house, you walk into the living room, and there is your person hunched over the table with your phone whispering in things like new car mats, new vacuum cleaner, whatever. That's a weird look to be caught doing that move.
No, you just explain themselves and be like, you suck at buying presents.
I'm trying to help.
I don't want socks. I think, honestly, this could be very beneficial. Maybe even if you've been in a relationship and you've been waiting for him to pop the question for a long time.
Yeah.
And you just need to get it into his head without telling him. Grab the phone, grab the iPad, engagement rings, diamond rings.
You just looking on Facebook one day or Instagram, and all of a sudden every third post is engagement rings.
Yeah.
You probably get freaked out a little bit.
I'm just saying, also, if it doesn't get the wheels turning for him, maybe it's time.
You know what? In that instance alone, you might be right about the he doesn't love you part.
Actually, you know what? If you want to break up with someone too, you can just start doing that. If you're too scared to make the move on the breakup, start grabbing their phone and go ashleymadison.com. Tinder, hot moms in my area.
So that they start getting dating ads on their phone and they go, you know what? Maybe I could do better.
Exactly. I'm just saying, guys, if you want a Christmas present, you can get it. Tony Robbins has told us before, if you have a dream, you believe it, you can achieve it.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Is Back in Black the best song with back in the title, would you say?
I think the Welcome Back Kotter theme is pretty solid, but, it's probably AC/DC.
Back in Black's a banger for sure, but, then you've got The Boys Are Back in Town.
That is also a good one.
Is that Is that or there's the Dropkick Murphys? What's the one? I guess it's the boys are back. The boys are back.
That out of the three, the Dropkick one's probably my favorite song. The biggest song is probably Back in Black.
Back in the Saddle, Aerosmith.
Get Back by the Beatles.
Oh,
That's-
dude.
yeah.
How many songs have back in the title,
There's
actually?
a lot of back songs.
Baby Got Back.
That's
That's your favorite karaoke song. I know that.
You're right.
I know that.
How
for a
did I
fact.
not think of that one?
You know what? Actually, really random. 762-555. What's your favorite song with back in the title? I want to see how many songs there are with back in the title.
Don't Look Back in Anger.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, what's that? There's a Taylor, We're Never Getting Back Together.
Oh, gross. Gross. Oh, you get the shame one for
It's
that.
back. It's got back in it.
Shame.
It's got back in it.
Shame on you for that one, dude. Running Back to Saskatoon, someone just said.
Oh, that is a good one, too.
Back from Cali, what's that, Slash and Miles Kennedy?
That's right.
Or Biggie Smalls, I guess.
Yeah,
Going, yeah.
Backstreet's back, someone says on the text
You
line.
know what? I think back might be one of the low-key most popular words in, like, music, actually.
Oh, the poet Mystical. Back that ass up.
Yes, that's true.
Does that one count?
That's true. Looking out my back door, a little CCR for you.
Those two are very similar songs.
Depending on how you look at it, for sure.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome back.
Yes, we are back from vacation, and we were kind of just randomly riffing there because we played Back in Black, and of course we played The Boys Are Back in Town, and we're realizing that the word back might be one of the most popular words used in titles of songs.
It's everywhere. Like this one here, someone texted in, and this is real ironic given the situation, but Hall & Oates had a song called Back Together Again.
That's true. That's true. That's true. What are some other ones we got on the text line here? 762-555.
Yo, I don't know how we didn't think about Tom Petty. I won't back down.
I won't back down. Weezer, Back to the Shack, someone said.
That's another one. Yeah. Savage Garden, To the Moon and Back.
The Beatles, they have Get Back and Back in the USSR.
Oh, that's right.
As
I forgot
well.
about that other one.
A lot of people getting some rap ones in. Lean Back, Ludacris, Get Back.
Clap Back, Ja Rule.
Sure. There are so many. Knocking at Your Back Door, of course.
Right, Deep Purple.
Yeah.
That one is a little suspect. I'm not sure what they're implying there.
Is that the same meaning as like Backdoor Man by The Doors?
I have to assume, and I have not done a deep dive in the lyrics of either song.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're in the same genre.
I
so to
remember
speak.
when I learned what the meaning behind Backdoor Man by The Doors was. It was at my first radio job.
Okay.
And there was an older fella. He was like almost 70 that still worked there.
one of them legends in the business.
And he was like, I like to consider myself a
oh no,
backdoor fella.
You're what, 20 at this point?
Yeah, I was like 21, and I was like, I don't know what that means, man.
Oh no!
And he said, it probably, you know what? It probably would have been a huge HR problem, actually.
100%.
He sat there. That's one of those songs that I heard growing up because my parents liked The Doors a lot.
Right.
And my parents would play that song at the house.
And just never thought anything of it.
Yeah.
They never would have thought to be like, maybe we shouldn't play this one in front of the boys. Only for you at 21 to be delivered a hard life lesson.
And you're like, ew. Jim Morrison, dude, come on, man. A little too personal, you know?
Well, the thing is like, because you can give your kids the freedom to like explore and listen to music and learn it. But like 2 nights ago, I went to put my son to bed and he put on like a little Spotify playlist. He was listening to uncensored Eminem. I'm like, no, hang on now. We can't be going like
Well,
that.
and the thing is when you're young, is you can listen to a lot of songs and not understand what the meaning is. Like, do
Yeah.
you remember, there's like that rap song. How did it go? It's like, you put your hand up on my hip when I dip, you dip. My mom used to listen to that song. I thought they were talking about like dipping chips or something or whatever, you know what I mean?
Maybe the dance move where you dip.
Or you remember that like Quad City DJs like, come on, ride the train.
Yeah.
And ride it. Woo,
Dude,
woo.
they used to play that during high school basketball games.
I had no idea what that meant. I was like, oh, we're just riding the Polar Express, or like, what's going on here? You know?
This song brought to you by Via Rail.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
There's nothing worse when you go to stub your toe and you just that pain, it just lingers around, you know?
It's crazy because like I can feel every part of my nervous system when I hit my toe on the cabinet. I can feel every inch of it.
Now, here's the thing. According to a new study, the next time you stub your toe or just hurt yourself in general, don't hold back on swearing.
Oh.
According to a new study, and you know, science never lies.
They've got all this stuff figured out.
They're claiming that profanity can actually sometimes be the best medicine for pain tolerance.
Really?
Yes, they said swearing can actually increase your pain tolerance by around 33%.
I'm invincible.
Yeah. Mainly simply because they say, A, it can be a distraction.
Sure.
And it can increase an individual's ability to tolerance pain and discomfort because you're just ripping a solid 3.825 or a 7.448, whatever it may be.
Whichever one comes to mind.
Yeah. Have you ever like stubbed your toe in front of the kids and done the like...
Oh, the hard F with like the bit lower lip is kind of one of my go-tos because you can drag it out while you survey the area, whether it's like at home around the kids or here around work. Like you can see if the boss or anybody's around, and then you just go right into the last three letters.
But I'll say this, rather than holding back, if you just lean full force into a solid like, ever hit your thumb like with a hammer or something like that? If you just yell a swear word, you do, it is true. I feel like you do feel a little bit better. Like,
I just like the idea that it's like, hey, I didn't mean to swear in front of my boss. Science told me I had to. Did you want me to get hurt? Come on now.
Now, here's the thing I want to know. What's your go-to curse word when you hurt yourself? Is it the F word?
You know what? If it's like a quick hurt, it is usually the F word. But if it's more of like banged into a wall or dropped something on my foot or something like that, I'm a big MFer guy because you can really lean into. I find having the extra syllables,
a little more oomph to it.
You can really dig into the traction.
762-555. When you hurt yourself, what's your go-to swear word? I'm actually kind of curious, whatever, because I feel like, if I stub my toe, it's an F-bomb. If I, like, burn myself, it's usually shh.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then if I kind of, like, drop something or whatever, it's always son of a, you know?
Oh.
That's
I'm not really I call people a son of a. I don't use it as, like, as an expression.
Yeah.
Also, for me, the MFer part is great with the kids because I can really lean into the mother, and then if I notice both kids are looking at me, I can just stop.
See you next Tuesday also works pretty well, too. You know?
That one, you got to be real careful where you use it.
A lot of people dropping the sea sucker based on the text coming in here. It's, yo, that was my dad's move, man. That's a Newfoundland kind of thing or whatever. I remember not knowing what that meant.
Right.
And like all I knew about that C word was roosters.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, why is he saying that?
Back when you were young and innocent.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
What movie do you think could be just a little bit better if it had a rated R rating? Apparently, the live action Scooby-Doo movie, there's an R-rated version of it somewhere.
Just this is the Snyder cut of Justice League. Like, why are we not signing petitions to see this movie?
And we asked you guys, what movie do you think would be better if it did have an R rating? We got friend of the show, Kelly, on the phone. Kelly, what says you?
Well, me and my husband were discussing. We thought Minions could really be improved with an R rating.
How is it improved? What gets better?
Well, like, instead of through, like, rumbling and stuff, you just be walking around, like, dropping F-bombs, swearing. Who knows what sort of shenanigans the Minions would get into.
They're just drunk the entire time. It's just my family from Newfoundland, basically. Just mumbling stuff all the time. Yeah.
Someone else texted in an R-rated Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yo, that movie is already a trip as it was as a kid.
When that kid blows up into a blueberry and the Oompa Loompas roll him out of the room, imagine what happens with the R rating.
Someone texted in like X-Men or any of the Wolverine movies. Dude, those would get 10 times more gruesome.
Wasn't that Logan one, like the old man Wolverine movie?
I never saw that one.
Oh, dude, that one had, I believe, an R rating, and they made use of it.
Even if you think about like every like Avengers or Marvel movie, if you gave those an R rating, just the fight scenes and stuff would be 10 times like cooler.
Well, all those movies basically become The Boys at that point, and that is rough.
Right? Right? Someone said I'd like to see an R-rated version of the Flintstones. I don't know, man. Based on what I know about like caveman and stuff, that movie gets pretty dark pretty quick.
I think if it's R-rated, Fred says some out-of-pocket things, and the whole thing gets shut down pretty quick.
Someone said an R-rated version of The Sandlot, the movie would end a lot quicker. Buddy's dad just finds out real quick. We've got someone else here on the phone. I can't remember what their name was. Hey, so sorry, I forgot your name, but what movie do you think would be better if it was R-rated?
Well, I was thinking Toy Story, and then they could include toys from the parents' tickle trunk.
Yo.
The bedside dresser toys? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, you know, yeah, and the ones under the socks in Mom's drawer there, yeah.
Do those ones also have the name written with backwards letters on the bottom?
Possibly.
Someone else just texted in, what about an R-rated version of the Magic School Bus?
No. Miss Frizzle's a wild card, man. We can't give her that kind of free.
I'm registered dietitian Abby Sharp, and on my new podcast, Bite Back with Abby Sharp, I'll be dismantling the multi-billion-dollar diet industry that keeps us in a cycle of self-loathing and food fear. Join me every Tuesday for expert interviews, engaging conversations, and my signature science and sass to bust myths, correct misinformation, and help you break free from diet culture for good. Listen for free on the Seeker app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Why are you crying? 762-555.
What is this?
It's an old Vine. 762-555. What profession do you think sees people cry the most is what we're talking about? Because Dalby shed a little tear at the dentist yesterday.
I did. I'm man enough to admit it. I got hit with a freezing needle, and I didn't start crying right away, but as I was laying there, I felt a tear roll down my cheek, and I was like, whoa.
A lot of people are saying lawyers, for sure. Judges as well, I guess you could say.
You're seeing people essentially hitting rock bottom.
Yeah, for sure.
There's definitely going to be some tears involved.
Someone said mortgage brokers. Yeah, I guarantee you that happens all the time.
Dude, stockbrokers are like people who deal in investments. When you have to tell someone, it's like, so that thing we invested all your money in went belly up.
And that's one of those ones that's even worse is on the phone, too, most of the time.
Oh.
We've got friend of the show, Philip, on the phone. Philip, what profession would you say sees people cry the most?
Oh, well, there's a lot of professions out there, but I guess my top thought is the BDSM masters. I'm pretty sure they're the ones that see the people cry more than therapists.
You're talking about, people who run dungeons and stuff?
Yeah. Well, when you were saying who's the therapist, and I was like, it's probably a BDSM master is probably the therapist.
Dominatrix.
That or a bottle. I don't know who, or they self-therapy themselves. I don't know how that works. They're
probably one of the few professions that gets to see happy tears, I guess.
Happy tears, exactly. Yeah, they're not sad tears.
Yeah, that's true, man. Not every tear is sad, you know. Now, I will say, the biggest text that we're getting in here at 762-555 is anyone who runs a funeral home, like a funeral director or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's not a great time, man.
Every day, basically, you know what I mean? And that's got to be a weird position to be in. But also, I feel like funeral directors have probably got to be pretty good at calling out people who have crocodile tears and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, because you think about it, if you're a funeral director, you're seeing people at the saddest moment in their entire lives.
Yeah.
You would get pretty good at being like, that person is genuinely distraught, and this person is just making it look good for the will reading.
Being a funeral director is a wild job. I mean, just dealing with dead people and sadness and stuff all the time. But then just watching Twisted Families and stuff like that, and like you probably hear so much crap, dude, on a regular.
Absolutely, you would, of people just saying the most out-of-pocket things possible.
Funeral directors probably have themselves a good cry sometimes too, man.
Well, no, that's when you go to see the BDSM.
yeah. The therapist.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant to say. Yeah,
that was what I'm referring to it as from now on.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
You know, sometimes you have a thought and you need to run it by your friends to see if maybe you're right, you're onto something, or maybe you're weird. And I would like to do that today.
Well, you are weird.
Okay, fair enough. But on this one, I don't think that I am, in this specific case. So I went to a restaurant the other day with my kids, and this has been on my brain for a few days. It was one of those, like, you know, decently fancy, sit down, nice kind of restaurant, where the kids get a kids menu that's more like a booklet, where they get like activities and stuff like that.
Little maze and stuff like that on there.
And so we're sitting there, and each of my kids has a little packet of crayons, their little project booklet, and I'm sitting over here with my boring-ass laminated menu, and I was thinking, why don't adults get fun menus at
True.
restaurants?
I agree with where you're going with this.
Okay, good. Because I was thinking, like, am I being childish?
I'll tell you this. I'm not the biggest fan of, like, Montana's food, but I do like going there because you get to draw on the tables, dude.
Right.
That's the best, man.
The thing is, I understand the kids' menus exist to give kids something to do because kids get bored while they're waiting for their food. So it's like, we'll give them a maze and a spot the difference game.
Yeah.
I get bored too.
Sometimes you're on a double date with your girlfriend friend's boyfriend, and he kind of sucks, and you guys have no conversation. You need something to do.
We're not chatting it up. So I don't know. Maybe give me some like sports trivia or something that I can work through while
That'd be dope, dude. I would love that, honestly.
You know, maybe it sounds a little bit boring, but if I could have like a Sudoku and a little crossword puzzle on my menu while I'm waiting for my steak or whatever, I would be so happy.
Even, I'll say this. More restaurants just need to start putting pictures on the menu.
Okay, yeah, 100%.
Can we establish that, all right?
100%.
There's nothing worse than going somewhere and you're like, okay, and you have an idea of what you think you're getting, and then you see it and you're like, oh, that sucks, or it's way smaller than I thought. Kids' menus always have pictures and stuff like that.
Huge pictures, bright colors, fun activities. Stop treating my kids better than me. I'm the one paying for the meal.
Exactly. Exactly. I like where your head's at on this.
Okay, thank you. I feel vindicated because, again, I'm having this thought in my head, and I'm like, am I just jealous of my children right now?
I don't know if any restaurants still do it, but remember when you were a kid and they'd have like the little treasure chest and you could go pick a toy out at the end?
Yo.
I'm just saying, why don't we have like maybe take a pint glass home or something like that?
Right, yeah, it doesn't have to be something expensive, but just something cool. Yeah. Something to look forward to at the end of the meal.
A lighter that someone left there. I don't know. Something. Maybe even a breathalyzer for some folks.
Can't even get a free pack of matches anymore, but you'll let the kids draw all over the tables.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Are we doing this again?
What?
Are we still on this whole height thing?
We need music to come back in from commercials, okay?
All right.
It's a great song.
What are we doing here? I thought we talked all about my height yesterday.
Yeah, no, well, because today is a good day, because yesterday we had the debate over whether or not you were short. And what it came down to was you kept saying that, like, you were, 182 centimeters on your driver's license?
That's what my driver's license says.
Yeah, so I thought, maybe today we could find out for real.
What do you mean?
Brought a tape measure to work.
Oh, you're going to size me up?
I brought a tape measure to work. Many people yesterday.
Oh, no.
We got a bunch of texts. So many people yesterday were saying the driver's license number doesn't mean anything because it's not like the government measures you. They just ask you how tall you are, and then it's the honor system.
Yeah.
We need definitive proof.
Okay.
But this maybe is on your side. We did the math yesterday trying to convert 182 centimeters into like feet and inches.
Yeah.
We figured that it was 597.
That's what we thought it was.
We also got some texts from people that were saying that our math was suspect.
Oh.
So I think that we just cut right to the chase. We measure you up for real.
Oh, okay.
Little kid style. You gotta take the shoes off. I see you're wearing the boots today.
I'll take the boots off. I'll take my hat off, I guess. All right, okay, let me come around there.
Okay, yeah, you come to me. My headphone cord's kind of short. Well, I don't need the headphones. I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, so we got the tape measure here. Okay, good. This one goes to about 4 feet, so this should work just fine.
Stop. I'm telling you, I'm 5'10", bro.
Okay, step on that.
Okay.
Good. Now.
Where am I at? Wait, let me stand up straight.
Yeah, stand up straight.
Yeah. Get the top of my head, too.
Yeah. I'm eyeballing it.
Where we at?
70 inches.
70 inches.
70 inches, which is 5'10".
Yeah!
5'10".
I told you, bro.
Maybe 5'9.7.
5'10". You said it first. That's 5'10". Show me where your finger is.
No, it's right about on 70.
That's 5'10", bro.
That's 5'10".
I'm average. I'm average.
Look at this guy.
All of you talking all that smack, being so rude to me yesterday. Your boy is average height, all right? Screw you guys.
We have literally won awards for this show, national awards for this show. I've never seen you as excited as finding out you're 5'10".
I am 5'10", all right? Everyone calling me shorty and stuff yesterday. I want an apology from everyone, all right?
Okay, listen. Maybe you're 5'10", maybe you're average. You got a lot of short energy right now. You got
After yesterday, rightfully so, bro.
The first text that comes through is all caps. Congratulations.
Yeah.
The people are celebrating like you just announced you and Courtney were having a baby.
How about a round of applause for my height there, guys? That feels good, baby. That feels good.
Wait a minute. Were you wearing shoes? Did you take your shoes off?
What do you mean? You told me to take my shoes off.
Okay, no, I just couldn't remember if you actually did it.
Dude, the CTE is real with your brain, dude.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Hey, congratulations. You're an average human being.
Are you going to apologize?
For what?
For being so rude to me yesterday?
I don't think I was rude. I think you just took everything I said out of context yesterday. I was very encouraging. I was saying you were my short king. How proud I was of you for all the things that you've done.
I'm an average king, brother.
You're my average king now.
I'm an average king, all right?
Hey, but at least you're still my king, all right?
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This morning, I learned that I'm not a short fella. I'm an average fella. We sized me up, had the measuring tape there. How tall was I, Dalby?
It looked like, from my best, and I have had LASIK surgery, so I trust my eyes, 70 inches or 5'10".
5'10", baby.
Congratulations,
5'10".
It's very exciting
and
for you.
I do want to say thank you to some of the people who have texted and even called there to apologize for being so rude to me yesterday. You know, it feels good to know that we got good friends out there. You know?
I like this text that came in here that says, I think Brock is the first guy to ever be this pumped about being average. But we did get a call on the BaD line during that song from someone, because you said, like, I think people should apologize. You said you got a lot of crap
Super rude yesterday.
So
yeah.
we did get this call here. I just want to play this one for you of someone. I think this is an apology.
All right, let's hear.
It's Matt from the Grey White North, and I just wanted to say, Brock, you adorable little thing. Look at you, you tiny little thing. You're a little leprechaun. You're adorable. I just want to squish you up and put you in my pocket and take you out for later. Show people off and say, look at this tiny little adorable thing. Be proud of your tiny stature, you little fella. Everyone's going to love you regardless.
First off, screw you. Second off, I feel like that's offensive to Irish people.
Isn't it crazy that we just pretty scientifically proved that you're not short, but you're still short?
I'm not. I'm shorter than you.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know what? I will say this. On behalf of someone who is ridiculed for being short, I want to say that there's nothing wrong with being small.
No, listen, there are a lot of advantages. Like, that's part of why I love having the kids around the house, is because they're so short. They can get into things I can't, like some of the lower cupboards.
You know what? Sometimes being fun-sized is better. I mean, think about this. Chocolate and candy, it's always better when it's fun-sized because you can eat more of it and you don't feel as guilty and stuff like that, right?
No, I would rather have a full-size chocolate bar. I would rather have the grand-size chocolate bar.
I mean, what are some things that are better small than they are big? Clementines. Clementines taste better than, like, regular oranges.
I mean, maybe around Christmas time, but for the most part, I think I'd rather have the regular orange, wouldn't you? It's more filling, more juice.
I'm struggling here. Small cars are usually more affordable than big cars, and they're usually better on gas.
I had to drive a smart car once for a job that I was working, and I almost died. It's not safe.
Well, how about this? Damn, what are more things that are better small than big? Spiders. Spiders.
No.
Small spiders are better than big spiders. They're less scary, probably.
No, because you can't see them. Smaller spiders are harder to find. Big spider, you can see it. You can hit it with a shoe.
Needles. Small needles are better than big needles.
What if you're sewing? I would rather have a big needle so I could get
That's
the
not
thread
what I
through.
meant.
Oh, those kind of needles. Yeah.
I don't know, man. The 762-555, help me out here. I'm scrambling.
I'm pretty sure the only thing that's better small is a bill. I think that's about it.
Children.
Yeah, honestly, they get kind of disrespectful when they get older.
Yeah. The bigger they get, the less cuter they get, and they also become bigger jerks, too. So
Why'd you point at me when you said that?
No, because you're being a jerk right now. And you're big, so you're a big jerk.
You're acting really 5'9" right now.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Ed's word of the day.
Now, I just want to say before we play this, when I opened up my email yesterday, Ed was killing it while we were on vacation. He's been leaving tons of words of the day.
Yeah,
so.
You guys call him Ed from the county. I call him Mr. No Days Off.
We were talking to him this morning. He's like, I thought you guys were back last week. So, thank you, Ed. Let's see what he's got for us here.
Well, good morning to you. Today's word, flapdoodle. 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 Anyways, it's nonsense or bosh.
Huh?
Well, I know quite a few people that are just right full of flapdoodle. Anyways, that's the word of the day, flapdoodle. Have a great one. Cheers up.
Doesn't that sound like something Ned Flanders would say if he was trying to describe a penis?
Yeah. yeah. For sure.
Now, boys, don't forget to clean your flapdoodle.
Don't forget to zip up your flapdoodle there. Yeah. That's what you call that part in your pants, the zipper there. It's a flapdoodle.
The flapdoodle.
So what did he say? It means nonsense?
Nonsense.
Yeah, that's a bunch of flapdoodle.
I mean, flapdoodle itself is a bunch of flapdoodle.
That sounds like something like a kindergarten teacher would say because she doesn't want to swear in front of her class.
Stub toe on the desk. Flapdoodle.
I'll say this, fellas, ladies that work in the trades. I walked and drove by a lot of job sites over the holidays. Maybe tone it down on the swearing a bit. Throw a couple flapdoodles in there. I'm just saying, as a passerby,
clean it up.
There's a lot of profanity coming from you guys.
You know what just happened? A lot of the guys working in those places,
they flapdoodle.
They just told you to 3825 off.
Yeah.
Flapdoodle, you bud.
Use flapdoodle wherever you can. Flapdoodle. All right.
Take care of your flapdoodle.
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby podcast is brought to you by BadShop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store, with all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.
I'm registered dietitian Abby Sharp, and on my new podcast, Bite Back with Abby Sharp, I'll be dismantling the multi-billion-dollar diet industry that keeps us in a cycle of self-loathing and food fear. Join me every Tuesday for expert interviews, engaging conversations, and my signature science and sass to bust myths, correct misinformation, and help you break free from diet culture for good. Listen for free on the Seeker app or wherever you get your podcasts.